The Philippines, beautiful beaches, vibrant culture, and rich agricultural lands. Yet, beneath this surface lies an uncomfortable truth. We are the world's top rice importer. In 2024 alone, we're projected to import nearly 3.8 million metric tons of rice. Yes, you heard that right, millions of metric tons just to meet our daily food needs. Why is this? How did a country so blessed with fertile land and a history deeply rooted in agriculture find itself importing the very staple that we've cultivated for centuries? To understand this, we have to dig deep into the heart of the Philippines' agricultural problems. First, let's talk about the weather. We live in one of the most typhoon-prone regions in the world. Every year, we brace for anywhere between 20 to 30 storms. Many of these typhoons slam into our rice-producing regions, leaving vast fields of paddies underwater, ruining crops, and washing away months of farmers' hard work. But that's not all. Climate change has introduced the deadly duo of El Niño and La Niña, bringing us extreme droughts followed by intense flooding. What happens when rice paddies that are barely recovering from drought suddenly drown in floodwaters? Our food security crumbles. In contrast, let's look at countries like Vietnam. They face similar weather challenges, yet they manage to stay on top of rice production. Why? They've developed flood-resistant rice varieties, seeds that can withstand being submerged for long periods. We too have access to such innovations. Right here at the International Rice Research Institute, IRRI, we've developed submarino rice, capable of surviving underwater for up to 2 weeks. But here's the kicker. Despite having this technology, we haven't adopted it on a large scale. We still rely on traditional rice varieties that are vulnerable to these extreme weather events. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. Next, we look at our agricultural practices. We are stuck in the past. Vietnam and Thailand, the world's top rice exporters, use advanced technologies and efficient farming practices. Their fields are mechanized. Their farmers are trained in the latest techniques. They use digital tools to predict weather patterns, optimize irrigation, and monitor crop health. Meanwhile, in the Philippines, much of our farming still relies on manual labor and outdated methods. We don't have enough investment in mechanization. Our farmers are often left to toil under the sun with nothing more than their hands and basic tools. This results in lower yields and higher production costs. While our neighbors can produce rice at a low cost and even export it, we struggle to meet our domestic demand. But mechanization is not the only issue. Irrigation, or lack thereof, is another problem. Only about half of our rice fields have access to proper irrigation. Without sufficient water during the dry season, or with too much during the wet season, our farmers are caught in a cycle of unpredictability. In Vietnam, the Mekong Delta benefits from an extensive irrigation network, which ensures consistent water supply even during dry spells. We also have a problem with the shrinking amount of land dedicated to farming. Every year, more and more agricultural land is being converted into industrial or residential areas. As cities expand and new infrastructure projects pop up, our rice fields disappear. With less land to grow rice, how can we expect to meet the needs of over 110 million Filipinos? In comparison, countries like Thailand and Malaysia have managed to protect large portions of their agricultural lands from urbanization. They understand that food security is national security. Without enough farmland, we simply cannot feed our growing population. And then there's the issue of government support, or the lack of it. While our government has made efforts to modernize agriculture, much of the support doesn't reach the small farmers who need it the most. Compare this to Malaysia, where the government provides extensive subsidies and training programs for farmers. They have affordable credit systems, crop insurance, and post-harvest facilities, ensuring that farmers can store their crops safely and avoid spoilage during storms. In the Philippines, many of our farmers are left on their own. They lack access to affordable loans and subsidies. Crop insurance programs are limited, and when natural disasters strike, they often don't have the means to recover quickly. When their fields are flooded, their livelihood is washed away with it. But here's the thing, it's not all doom and gloom. The Philippines has the potential to turn things around. So how do we do it? How can we stop being the world's top rice importer and finally feed ourselves? First, we need to adopt modern, climate-resilient technologies. The seeds are already here, literally. We just need to make them available to every farmer. By adopting flood-resistant and drought-tolerant rice varieties, we can secure our harvests even in the face of extreme weather. Next, invest in irrigation and water management systems. If we want to avoid being at the mercy of the weather, we need to control how water flows through our fields. This means building flood-resistant infrastructure, like stronger dikes, better drainage systems, and more reliable irrigation networks. Imagine if our farmers could depend on a consistent water supply, regardless of whether there's a drought or a typhoon. And let's not forget about mechanization. By introducing more machines into the fields, tractors, harvesters, and digital tools, we can boost productivity while reducing labor costs. This will allow us to compete with our neighbors who are producing rice more efficiently. Then comes the most critical part: government support. Our farmers need more than just seeds and machines. They need training, financial aid, and protection. Crop insurance should be expanded so that when a typhoon hits, farmers can recover quickly. Credit should be made available at low interest rates so they can invest in modern equipment and technology. And training programs should be rolled out nationwide, teaching farmers how to use new tools and adopt sustainable practices. If we can implement these changes, the Philippines won't just feed itself. We could become an agricultural powerhouse once again. Imagine exporting rice, not because we have to, but because we can. Imagine being a country that doesn't fear the next typhoon season, but one that's prepared for it. Now let's take a step back and think about the bigger picture. Our dependence on rice imports isn't just an economic issue. It's a matter of national security. The world is changing. We see tensions rising in the West Philippine Sea, with global powers clashing over resources. The Philippines is at the center of this geopolitical hotspot, and food security could easily become a tool of conflict. What happens if trade routes are blocked? What happens if countries we rely on for rice stop exporting due to their own crises? By achieving food independence, we reduce our vulnerability to external shocks. We ensure that no matter what happens in the international arena, Filipinos will always have food on the table. Food security isn't just about filling our stomachs. It's about peace. It's about stability. By focusing on our agriculture, by empowering our farmers, we can create a future where the Philippines is a pillar of stability in the Indo-Pacific region. A region that is peaceful, prosperous, and free from conflict. The path to food independence won't be easy, but it's within our reach. It's time for the Philippines to rise above the storms, literally and figuratively. We have the land, the people, and the knowledge. Now, we need the will to act. So let's work together to build a future where we don't rely on others to feed us. A future where Filipino farmers thrive. A future where the Philippines once again becomes a nation that can feed itself and help its neighbors in times of need. The time for change is now. Let's make it happen. Thank you for tuning in. If you found this valuable, please show your appreciation by giving a thumbs up and subscribing to OHA News Asia, your trusted source for knowledge always at your fingertips.